I don't think that's at all what home is like. Oh, hello. I'm Cool VHS Reviews, and today we'll be covering the second induction into the Tommy Jarvis saga. How we doing over there, Tommy? Come on. Friday the 13th Part 4, The Final Chapter, is an American slasher movie directed in 1984 by Joseph Zito and produced by Frank Mancuso Jr. On a budget over $1 million, the movie made over $32 million at the box office. Other fun facts include, distinguished film critic Roger Ebert once called this movie a reprehensible and immoral piece of trash, which is fitting, considering my newest tattoo. One of the writers on the film wrote a scene in which Jason would catch up to Trish and then fondle her breasts, but because it made Jason seem more human and a little more perverted, they were like, no, we won't do that. Our big bad bear hunter in the film, Mr. Rob, is actually coming there to avenge his sister Sandra from Friday the 13th Part 2. The tape my boy Axel is watching in the beginning of the film is a video called Aerobicize from 1982. It stars Darcy DeMoss, who went on to star in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Originally in the scene where Crispin Glover is trying to woo one of the twins before the other one dies, he's performing a dance to the song Back in Black. Now, after that, they replace it with another song by I don't want to dance no more. The front cover is a bona fide masterpiece, being one of the most original covers since the first movie's VHS tape. Jason's mask stabbed through with blood leaking through is a tone that hits hard and sets the movie for you. Was this the last one? Of course not, but this cover lets you know that it was gonna fucking try. As usual, the back layout is full of foreboding shots, including one of Tommy Jarvis in a latex mask, that seeing as a kid I thought brought actual aliens into Friday the 13th. I was of course wrong, but still. Legal garb and UPCs can't take away from the side panels, which, as usual, are perfect, bearing the title in its classic font. I recommend this tape to collectors everywhere and to horror fans in general. So the opening scene of this movie is a counselor sitting down the rest of his buddies, and they're all talking about what happened in the previous films. It sets the right mood, it eases you in, it makes you feel like this is a crushing weight, all the darkness surrounding you, and the only light being this little campfire. And it's absolutely one of the best openings in any of these movies for sure. And it really lets you know who Jason is if you haven't seen any of the movies before, or if you just need a little reminding. In general contrast to Part 3, this movie is actually scary with some actually great frights. It's definitely the best Friday the 13th movie in terms of being an actual scary horror movie. It definitely scared me a lot when I was a kid. And all of the characters, even if they are tropes, there's tropes galore, but they're all the best versions of what those could be, especially if you're just doing basic writing. And I genuinely like a lot of them, except for Computer Boy. I think he's a jackass. But even he does some really good work in this movie. Just saying, letting that aside, he definitely accepts and holds his character to its own, and it's pretty great. Jason is peak terrifying in this movie. He's having a veteran stuntman behind that mask makes him more agile and brutal, and it really helps the movie along and making it stand out from the other ones in the series. He kills with malice, and it's great. Trish, Jimbo, and Tommy are standout performances in this movie, but I always feel bad for Mom and Gordan whenever their time to die pops up on screen. None of them deserved it, but least of all, Mom and Doggo. And having a dog be killed in a movie is a huge no-no, and yet it's still a movie that I love. And that's a testament to its position in the hearts of fans. The kills in this movie are classic pieces of cinema here. It's all stuff that if you know anything about the Friday the 13th series, you've probably seen these kills before in a countdown, in a Dead Meat video, in just a compilation, or just in general. If you consume media, especially horror media, you've seen these kills before, and that's how great they are. That's how badass Tom Savini makes these kills, because this was his return, and this was the death of Jason, and he kicked the motherfucker's ass. Standouts being the cleaver to Crispin Glover's head gets me every time, makes me cringe. I don't know how anybody else watches that and doesn't go, oh, that's not, oh, fuck, Or the smashing head kill in the shower scene, it's just so meaty and guttural, like they're smashing a cantaloupe with a hammer, and it's, And then, of course, we have the best death in the movie, Jason Voorhees with a machete to the skull. Like, a lot of these are head kills now I'm thinking about it. But of course, this kill was made the absolute pinnacle by Tom Savini and the cast in general, because this was the death of Jason. For all we knew, this was going to be Jason's last hurrah. And if you're gonna kill an evil motherfucker like that, you gotta do it right. All in all, this is one of the most iconic films of the series. And if you skip the rest, this one should be your first view. And personally, it's my second favorite. Alright, my loyal hooligans, this has been Cool VHS Reviews on the second induction into the Tommy Jarvis saga. If you enjoyed the film, go ahead and tell me about it below. If you didn't enjoy the film, probably dump your comment somewhere around Reddit. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, but before I do, if Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. I'll be back. And when I come back, Jason will be back. And when Jason comes back, Tommy will be back. Until then, it's VHS or die. I'll see you around.
Already the sirens are going in this area, but intense thunderstorms.
Actually, the attack subsides spontaneously once the anxiety passes. Are you saying you think this is all?
That one's in the dirt. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to shoot. The Dodgers are in fourth, so that each of my kids who live out of town can bring their families in once a year to be a heritage. One gets.
Checks worse.